First Kill Season 1 Ending Explained. This vampire Netflix original hit the platform recently, and it's provided a different tale to what we'd usually expect. Following vampires, monsters and hunters in Savannah, I thought I'd jump into it and explain the ending that we were left with. So let's get into it. Here is First Kill Season 1 Ending Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The story specifically focused around Juliette, who is considered a legacy vampire, which essentially meant that she could blend in as a human more than other vampires, in the sense that she could stay out in daylight as much as possible and not be susceptible to all of the usual things that vampires have as weaknesses, even the driving of a stake through the heart, which we saw occur in the show to the whole Fairmont family. And also it followed Cal, who is the daughter of one of the most prolific families of hunters in the area. They are from two different worlds and are essentially rivalries. But despite being raised to be fearful of each other and the mindset to want to fight one another, they soon grow feelings which lead to the families crossing paths, and also the lovers crossing paths too. Romeo and Juliet was mentioned in the series as a set that they had to work on as part of their school project, and I believe that was put there for a reason. I feel it was put there due to the fact that the show did mirror the resentment and rivalries between two families, despite the fact that the main characters in the show wanted to be with each other, and were prepared to look past their differences and let nothing keep them apart. It was an interesting touch. By the final episode, after witnessing family rivalries, monsters invading the town for the first time in decades, paranoia growing by the day, the Burns family and Fairmont family attempting to kill each other, take the sides of each other, and then also claim one another, Juliette and Cal had a turbulent relationship, but the pair's love for each other far outweighed the rift that it felt like they had between them at points. They both saved each other on occasions when they needed it, and the sense of care and understanding was there. Theo, who was Cal's brother, had a different mother to the others, due to the fact that she was killed when he was younger by a vampire, and there was always this underlying yearning to find out the truth behind who did it, and then seek revenge on them. In the final episode, we saw Theo and his brother Apollo approach Elinior, who was Juliette's sister, after finding the crest on a ring to help identify the family of the person that killed his mother. But in a moment of madness, Theo misunderstood what was going on, and Apollo accidentally drove the stake into his brother, and was then put under a spell by Elinior to forget everything. A power that we know she has, but she's often told not to use, as it could draw attention to her and the family. This in turn led them all to flee the scene, but once Juliette arrived and cleaned up the mess, she took a bite out of his arm with the intention of draining him so he could die with dignity after asking for help. But instead, it didn't do the job, and it ended up turning him into a vampire himself. He was uncontrollable once he returned, and he didn't know what to do. Whilst his family were trying to contain him, we saw Juliette go home and confront her sister, due to the fact that she'd found something of hers out the front, tying her to the location of the scene. Once she confronted her, we saw a heated argument erupt, and then we heard her state how she never wanted to speak with Elinior again. This is due to the fact that she started to see what Oliver was saying, and that she is as evil as what he said she was. And she also knew that it would cause disruption between herself and Cal's relationship too. Following this, she went to Oliver's and he then gave her a key to Elinior's secret container, which contained the identification to all of the people that she'd fed off over the years, and ended up killing, thus causing the police to go round to the house and arrest her. Hence the title of the finale titled First Betrayal, because Juliette betrayed her sister. There was also a betrayal in another sense in the fact that Juliette betrayed Cal by taking a bite out of her brother, knowing full well that there was a chance that it could turn him into a vampire, and become the very thing that destroyed his family and he swore to destroy. It was a powerful moment. This led us to see Cal argue with Juliette on the front lawn, and claim that she never wanted to see her again, leading the relationship that we came to watch flourish and battle everything it could possibly go up against, close off and be no more in the final few moments of the season. Maybe we'll see them pick up again. We most likely will. The flashbacks of their love as Cal was running off into the night highlighted the love that she still had for her. Talia, who was Theo's stepmother, was against what the rest of the family were planning. They wanted to kill Theo due to the fact that they now believed that he was a monster. However, she didn't want to be involved in any of that. Instead, when she was left alone with Theo, she broke him out of the basement and drove him to Oliver, who is Juliette's brother that was banished from the family home many years ago. He welcomed him in, called him a brother, and proceeded to reveal a garden that was full of all kinds of monsters, before the season faded to black and concluded. This was insinuating that it turned out that all of the monsters that we saw being unleashed into Savannah and were causing chaos in the town for the first time in decades were being meticulously placed there by Oliver and his partner in the attempt to get revenge on his parents and also his twin sister Elinior. When he was younger, he was seen as somebody who the family didn't want to associate themselves with, and was therefore banished. He was lured into carrying out all of the actions by his sister Elinior. She was the evil one out of the pair, and is power hungry, but he had to deal with the repercussions. She was manipulative and always found a way to come off better than what he did. Maybe she even used her memory control powers on him too. We heard the type of hold she had over him when he told the story about his tortoise. The ending of the series left many things open to get picked up in season 2 of the show. We've got Oliver now with Theo, who is a vampire, who's going to be continuing to unleash monsters on Savannah with the intention of tarnishing the family name in the town, potentially revealing their identities to the regular folk there. We've got Juliette and Cal's relationship in ruin due to Juliette biting her brother and transforming him, Elinior in custody for all of the murders that we've seen her do, and her parents not planning on getting her out. We've also got the group Mothers Against All Monsters closing in on the Fairmonts property, knowing that something isn't quite right and the town is likely to be attacked again, and also the Fairmonts being questioned on their judgment to lead and hold on to the Emerald Malkia. First Kill was a really interesting show that provided something different, and although at points was a bit cringy and had some questionable CGI, I could look past it and enjoy it for what it was. I think it will likely get a second season based off of its success already, and will likely learn from the mistakes made in season 1. So, there you have it, First Kill season 1 ending explained. If you want to see more content on many other TV shows such as episodes explained, ending explains, or theories and predictions on other shows, then hit on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find everything over there. If you'd like to recommend a show or movie that you'd like me to talk about next, then head over to my Twitter @brainpilot_ and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. Also, if you want to see what I review other TV shows and movies that just don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile, where I rate all of the latest releases. What did you think of this show? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.